What are we doing today?
Today we are doing artwork by an artist, a Japanese artist called Yayoi Kusama. So
Polka dot artist?
polka dot artist, yes. Have you seen her work before?
Yeah.
She is exhibiting a lot in India, in Bombay,
Yeah.
uh, this year. So if you get a chance, if you do go to Bombay, there's an
She
exhibit.
covers the rooms up with like polka dots.
Correct. Yes. And in honor of that topic, I'm wearing a polka dot shirt also today. It so happens. Let me show you the images. So I'm going to send you a link which you can read. So many years ago, I was looking for uh, some information on female artists, and I found Yayoi Kusama, and I found her work very curious. At that time, I was teaching at Vidyavali, and I had made all the students write a little note about different artists, and they had to present it to class. So there was a girl who I had given this topic to, and she came back saying, ma'am, can I do something else? Because I think this artist hardly does anything. It's only just making dots and circles. And I don't like reassign me another artist. So I told her to sit with the topic for 2 weeks. And if she still doesn't like the artist after she reads up on it, and if she finds an alternate artist that is not in our list, then she could take that one. But after 2 weeks, she came back and said that no, this artist is very interesting and I'm enjoying the polka dots. So I thought today we could also make something like Yayoi Kusama. So I'm going to show you the pictures that I've shared on the group. And when you look at it, it just looks like such a simple idea. You take any space and you just put different circles, not all polka dots, but dots. And you fill up everything with dots. But there's something about how she has made this art that makes it look very well. I'm not going to say what it looks like. I want you to think about this. So she has something called infinity mirrors, in which that's the exhibit that's on in Bombay right now. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to go and see it in February when I go to Bombay next. And she works a lot with colored textures. She is, I think, as of now, 94 years of age. She's begun to become very famous in the last maybe 15 years. And she's often wearing this red colored wig with round glasses. So one can make a very nice caricature of her as well. So what I want you to do is think of simple objects that we can draw and then cover them up with dots. And because we can do two things. We can take some of her own artwork, like the pumpkin shape, and then cover that up with dots. Or you can take another fruit and cover that up with dots and see how that looks, maybe a pear, an apple, and see what that graphic looks like. So I want you to try, and I'm going to ask you this later also. In your opinion, very simply, do you like her artwork? If you like her artwork, then what do you like about it? And if you don't like it, what you don't like about it? And in the process of making something like her art, have you learned something? And what could you have learned? It does not have to be some profound lesson. It could be something very simple also. It could be something that you've not thought of before. That's usually a sign of learning. So if you identify something like that, on the back of the page, I just want you to note down your impression that I think it is maybe, I don't want to feed you words. So I think it is X, Y, Z, I like it because dash, dash, dash. I don't like it because dash, dash, dash. And I learnt that dash, 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 whatever that dash, dash might be. All right? Do that. Because part of learning art or learning anything is to be able to respond to it. You know what that means? You take in the information, you chew on it, and then you think about it, and then you express a thought about it. So that maybe next week, if someone says, okay, what is it you're doing in art class? You have something to say. You don't go about just saying, oh, we just made some polka dots, or, yeah, we just do general stuff. You should be able to say, that okay, this week we learned about this Japanese artist and she's so and so age old. These are some of her paintings, these are very famous. You need to have more information. All right, so we want to start grabbing information of the stuff that we do. So one thought is we could make I really like this one, and it's a three-dimensional sculpture. Oh, sorry, I didn't share. I did something completely different. This is a 3D sculpture of what looks like just a bunch of flowers. You can convert that into a two-dimensional picture and make the same kind of dots, change the color of dots, but also put it against a backdrop that has dots like this and see how that looks. Okay? All right. So I will be drawing that also, but I want you to first draw how you see these flowers. I'm going to continue to share this image. And I want you to translate this into a drawing of two-dimensional drawing. We'll take about 10 minutes to make the drawing. And then you can, then I will change the screen and then I will draw. It's very simple. Just make an impression that you want to make. All of our drawings should look different. And draw shapes that you like. You can also modify the shapes. The pink and the yellow flowers, I know they're pointing in the opposite direction. You can have them point exactly like that, or you can make them pointing in the front. You could change the petal shapes into pointy petals instead of rounded petals. Anything. See what you would like to do.
So we have to recreate this.
Yes.
Okay.
It does not have to be an exact copy of how you see the artwork. It should be an interpretation. Now remember, whenever I ask you to do something like that, I want you to not second guess yourself. Do you know what second guessing is? So second guessing means, say you're drawing some line. If you're second guessing yourself, it means you are wondering, is this the right thing to do? What if I am wrong? What if it is something else that I should be doing? That is second guessing yourself. So second guessing makes you unsure of your work and you are always going to feel doubtful. When you're doing art, you have very little place to go wrong in art. As you can see, we are not making a face or a particular shape where if you draw a line wrong, it's going to change that face totally. Say, for example, if you're drawing the face of a celebrity, and if you make one line too long, then that celebrity's face completely changes and they look like somebody else. In that case, you have to be careful about your line. But what we are going to do today is it's just a graphic of flowers. So I want you to draw confident lines and don't erase your lines. Even if they are not even, if they are not, all the petals are not equal in shape or something like that happens, don't erase, just carry on. Yes.
I have to show you my painting from last.
Oh, very nice. Good, good, very nice. This was simple enough. So you can make this in half of our A4 sheet. We have another 5 minutes before I start drawing. And if you have any doubts, you're not sure about a few shapes, if you want, you can just wait for 5 minutes and then you can take a call on what you should do based on how I make my drawing. Okay? At every point, I am going to try to push you to figure things out for yourself. Okay? Um, when you are trying to do that, remember the learning that you acquire from figuring stuff out yourself is much higher than the learning you will receive if I tell you what to do. If I tell you draw a circle and draw 5 petals, you are not really using your imagination or your analytical mind to figure things out, isn't it? And the whole point of learning anything is to get your brain to do more and more work. So if you have any questions and if you have doubts, I'm there to answer. This is not a test, and I'm not trying to put you on a spot to see how well you do something based on an arbitrary standard that I'm putting. Okay. So if you say, like, I can clearly see the red and white flower has an odd looking stem. Then there are green patches that come out of it. You can't tell whether it's a stem or a leaf. So there's something very curious happening in this whole sculpture. So if you are also feeling that there's something weird happening and you can't translate that, then please ask me freely and I can help you think about it. Okay? So my role here is to help you to navigate through the questions that you will invariably have.
Make this 3D. I didn't.
Sorry?
Not being able to make it 3D.
No, don't make it 3D. We have to make it flat.
Okay.
Now, when I draw and I give you a solution, remember that is just one option. Looking at this picture, there could be 15 different ways that we can make it. Okay, so it's not as if what I'm doing is the only way and the only right way to do it.
I add more flowers.
Yeah, go ahead, add more flowers. Why not? If you want to add other things also, like maybe a shape of a simple butterfly or a caterpillar or anything. I mean, she has put an eye as the center of the flower. So it doesn't even have to be flower or animal related. You could put, I don't know, something else maybe that sparkles or shines or whatever. Think about different things. All right, I'm going to start drawing now. Okay, here we go. So I'm drawing in one half of the page, and on this half, I want to make a portrait of the artist and write Yayoi Kusama and maybe write a few lines over here. This is how I'm composing it. If you have drawn over the whole page, that's perfectly okay. Okay, I'm going to draw that eye. So like we did last week, this is also a study. Already I've learned something very interesting. How the eyelashes are so beautifully arranged that you have two eyelashes per petal. Now I'm going to do this very interesting thing here. I'm going to put one more curved line over here so that it looks as if this petal has been folded. And then I'm going to run another line from here so that it looks like there's a fold on this petal also. And the rest of the petals, I'll just make a red outline when I paint it. Then I'm going to make a short pudgy stem. And because this goes underneath the petal, I'm making the leaf shape slightly different than what I see it. There seems to be another leaf like this, which has completely different colors. Now for the flower on the back, I'm very tempted to make it turn to look in our direction. So I could do this. And because there's an eye over here, I'm thinking now, I'm imagining maybe I can do another eye, same idea. And now I don't even know whether that is how the painting is, but I am taking over the design and deciding for myself what I want to do. Now here, there's a fold. So I'm going to fold it up like this. Fold in the stem. And the flower on the other side, I'm going to make it pointing towards the back. So I'm going to make a shape like this. I'm removing some parts because I can't really see what is happening there. And then I'm going to make the petals turn backward like that. That's it. Now we shall paint it. So I'm writing the name of the artist also here, and I'm going to paint that also if I can with polka dots. Or it could have just one big polka dot. And then Kusama, I will write in brush. Um, okay, now based on how she looks, I want to just show you a picture of her face with her trademark glasses. No, this one I want to see that she's not showing any. But there we go. Okay, now look at this. Not all of them are the same, but this is her. This is her. Can you attempt to draw a portrait of her? I'm going to show you the portrait first, and then you can draw something similar. But the difference is don't draw the portrait while I'm drawing it. I want you to just see the portrait and then draw something of your own. So this is where I'm going to put her face. And I'm looking at the picture. So you just look at how I'm drawing it. You need not draw it with me. I'm going to make her glasses here. Her hair is going to be this big. And then I'm going to make her mouth. So always look at how much space you have. This is her hair. She has very interesting glasses. And then I'm making her nose fairly simple, just a triangle. And then I'm giving her lips. Very simplified lips and mouth. And because she has, now she's almost what, 94 years old. I'm giving her some wrinkles. And we'll make these dark. And if we want, now that I've made these lines, I can make lines on all her hair. So these lines will be seen from under the red or orange that I make her hair. Okay, will you draw a portrait of hers now? I'll share the photo with you. I want you to use the photo as inspiration and draw a picture of her. See, this one is a nice one. I think I'll make the nostrils also. Have any of you seen okay, there's an animated film character that looks like her. She's not one of the main characters. She's one of the other characters around it. While you're drawing this portrait, can you think of who that character might be?
There's this in Incredibles.
Edna Mole,
Yeah,
correct. I've made her nose very longer, by the way. I think it can be smaller, shorter nose. I'm so tempted to erase. I want to erase the nose. Yes, I'm going to erase the nose.
maybe they made Edna based on her.
Maybe they did. I love Edna Mole. She's one of my most favorite characters. Let me know when you're done so that we can start painting, okay? And even for this one, if you want to, if you've got sketch pens or brush pens, we can try using those. But before we try that, I want to just test if these brush pens blot.
I'm using Sharpies because like mine don't blot.
When you use the Sharpie, one on top of the other doesn't blot?
No, mine are like less on ink.
Oh, good. I'm
Yeah.
just going to test mine.
They're the thin ones, not the thick ones.
Okay. So they're permanent.
Yeah. That kind of spread into the yellow.
It did spread, right?
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Wait, yours or mine?
Oh no, the yours. Yellow.
Yeah. But it's possible that my yellow is also a little wet still.
Yeah.
I didn't wait long enough. I think I can risk it. Yeah, the second one is not spread out too much. Okay, this is going to be exciting. Are your pictures done?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's go now. Let's make our flowers. So, do you want to see the original image or do you want to make your image yourselves? I'll show you the original image and I'll keep showing you mine in between. So, I'm first painting this yellow flower in the background. And the same flower also has polka dots on its stem.
Oh, mom,
Yes,
do you show the illustration of Yayoi again?
yes.
You.
So I'm going to give you some questions to find information about Yayoi Kusama. And either in the back of this page or on a separate sheet that we can attach to this page, I want you to make an interesting, presentable, almost like an infographic of who this artist is and answering some of the questions that I'm going to ask you. So you can ask these following questions. Most importantly, what is this art form? So various art forms have various names. Uh, Sometimes, like last week, we did Impressionism, or we did, this is called pop art. So what does Yayoi Kusama's art form um, become? What category does it fall
Tried a
in?
pop art homage once, and it was in four sections on the page. It was the same drawing and different colors in each of them.
Right. So it could be that. So I want you to think about this. Okay. Then other things are who are other artists who are from the same art form or era. Then um, names of her work. So I can tell you that much of Yayoi Kusama's work falls under the category of installation art. Installation art is something like you have sculptures. Uh, when you understand that when you see a sculpture of, say, a man or a horse, or maybe sometimes even a character, but that is okay. That is also a sculpture. But some sculptures are not necessarily sculptures. The flowers and thing that we're doing is a sculpture. But you can have something similar which doesn't fall under a sculpture, but it still requires some assembly, installation. It is art in that its function is to just create a statement in a space. And it would probably have some um, either cultural significance that makes it sought after. So if you were to take 10,000 balloons and put them all in a room and call it art, that kind of art becomes installation art because it's not like a sculpture. It can be something that can be picked up and moved about. It's not necessarily permanent. So that something like that is called a piece of installation art.
Ma'am,
Yes.
could you
Oh,
see?
yes. Let me see. Yes, very nice. Now below the name, her last name is also going to come, Kusama. So make that below her face later on.
Can you share the image?
Yes. You could come up with such interesting jokes about this or riddles. What do you think would be Yayoi Kusama's favorite dog, breed of dog? Can you think of another a dog?
Dalmatians?
Yes. What would be Yayoi Kusama's favorite illness?
Chickenpox.
Correct. Now, can you think of some riddles like that?
What would be Yayoi Kusama's favorite pizza?
Pepperoni. Good job.
Ma'am, can you show your art or
Yes, yes,
your picture?
yes, yes, I can. So when you're making an outline, when you're making a darker color or similar colors, this is one trick you could do. Make the negative paint first. So make the circles first and then color all around the circles. This in itself is also looking quite nice. It can be one texture in itself. But in this, then afterwards, I can make the green circles. That's the original design. So instead of making the green circles first, which I have done in the case of the yellow, since there the second color is deep green, in the first one, the blue and green one, I made the blue first. And then I'm making the green circles because that seems a little easier for me to make. So what I like, this is one thing that I like about making studies. Because of the difficulty of the task, you are forced to come up with your own solutions to make the painting with whatever tools you have. Now, inside the eye, as you can see, there are white polka dots. So I'm going to have to do this very slowly. I will make the dots first, just like I made the blue over here. Before I'm making the dots, I carefully look at their composition. What if these dots had a composition where they go around the circle of the iris in a particular design? Then I should ideally make that design. But they don't seem to have a predictable pattern. They just seem to be randomly placed. So I'm going to go ahead and place them randomly. I'm making them slightly bigger and slightly closer than I see, because once I color this in red, they will automatically become smaller and the distance between them will increase as the space between the circles gets painted. A few things to note is that there don't seem to be any half circles. So you just draw full white circles right up to the end. Don't cut them anymore. And then gently start filling the space in between. So in one shot, your design is complete. See, as I proceed, you'll notice that the space between the circles seems to reduce. How's it going, girls? Good. Easy enough, not too complicated, right?
Yes. Yes.
Good, good. Do you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now for the tiny dots on the blue parts, I'm using a micron pen because the space over there is so small that I'm afraid I might not be able to cover the tiny spaces easily. So I'm making the circles in micron tip but I might just be able to fill in the color with a black pen. Let's see. This black is also used to make the lines between the lashes. And then here it's quite interesting, the center. It's almost as if she has made concentric circles. So you make one circle. This is almost like a pattern. You make one, two, and three circles. And a dot in the center. Even this is looking so mesmerizing. I quite like it. And then she's broken this unevenly to make it look like bricks. The fat separation. And it's not a regular pattern. So that in the next line, the pattern changes. There. I think once you finish it, it's just going to look awesome. Now her last name is Kusama, so I want to fit in exactly in the center. All right, Kusuma. It'll align to the left part of the Y. And because I have space, I'm going to make it spread out quite a bit. Make the letters nice and wide. Yes.
Can you see the difference?
Yeah, 1 minute. Let me just finish this. Ah, it's become very narrow over here now. Okay, let's see.
Um, can you see it?
1 second, I'm pinning your picture. Oh, how cute. Wow, this is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. So, what do you think about this art?
I like the eye.
Nice, no? It's a nice touch. What I like about this is that you can do so many things if you think about um, just trying out different things. Don't get stuck to thinking that there's only one way of making stuff, and experiment with different shapes, different colors, application of different colors, and you might come up with something great. I'm feeling very bad about how I've written her last name. So I am going to put something, I'm going to paste a new thing on it. Oh, I feel terrible. Anyway. So if we don't have any questions, do you want to continue this and finish it off on your own time and we can end the session? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Please share a picture of your images after you finish them. Put them on the group so everyone can enjoy them. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Chalo. Bye. See you next week.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.